Hello, welcome to another episode of the Horror Vision Horror Podcast. My name is Sean,
And I'm Missy.
and we are both happy as fuck
Yeah.
because we both, in our respective cities, saw a movie tonight, a brand new movie, and I knew nothing. I had not seen a trailer. I know you had, and all I knew was I watched like 2 days ago. I watched the first like 30 seconds of this trailer, and when I saw the thing or heard the thing about us last a year ago, a supermoon caused like an outbreak of 1 billion
Yeah.
werewolves. I was like, motherfucker, I don't even need to see the rest of your fucking trailer because the promise of that setup is just too good. And Frank fucking Grillo, werewolves. Holy fuck. Missy, talk about werewolves. We're gonna go spoiler free. So
Okay.
this is just people I can only hope this will live a long time in the theater, but it's probably not going to.
It's not going to.
I'm already wanting to go back. Like
I
I
know.
already want to go back.
I could have immediately gone right back in and watched it again.
Yep.
And I everybody knows I'm the monster girl, I'm the werewolf girl. I These are my favorite fucking things. I saw one trailer. Me and my friends saw I think maybe when we saw Terrifier 3, we saw the trailer once and I was mesmerized by it. And I hadn't seen anything else. And I'm always worried because I always want new werewolf movies, and most of the time I'm disappointed. I was not disappointed. They gave me like everything I wanted. The werewolves are practical. They're guys in suits.
Yep.
The head it's fucking beautiful.
Yep.
I it had a lot of the face had a lot of articulation. They had big pointy ears. They were elongated with long fingers, and they were guys in suits, and I couldn't fucking be happier about it. They basically took the Purge 2 Anarchy, which is my favorite one, the one that has Frank Grillo in it,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
right.
and filled it with practical werewolves in suits. And like, if the fucking drive-in movie, and it was made for me, and I got to see it in a theater. Like, I feel like the universe gave me a gift. And it's December, my most hated time of the year. And this was just, I smiled through the whole thing.
Same.
And as soon as it started and they started talking, I saw Lou Diamond Phillips, and then they started talking about moon screen. And I'm like, oh, this is my kind of movie. Like, immediately. This is my kind of movie.
I knew instantly. I'm like, Missy is in fucking heaven right now.
I so was.
This is an hour and I think 34 minutes, and there is no fat on this fucking movie.
Nope.
This movie starts with two text screens that say a year ago a supermoon got closer to the earth than ever before, yada yada yada, 1 billion werewolves, and it's a year later and it's happening like tonight or whatever. I'm paraphrasing, but that's literally
Mm-hmm.
the setup.
Yeah.
And they just go in and it's like motherfucking Frank Grillo is just fucking pounded using a nail gun to put nails through a fucking piece of wood that he's like he's fortifying a house. Oh, it so at first like I was a little bit like I was in, but then I'm like, oh, okay, this is like really macho and there's this moment like so you've seen him, he's in like this tank top, he's all fucking yoked and he's like fucking putting an electric car battery to a fence and he's fucking topping off a tank of pepper spray and he's got a sprinkler system attached to it and he's putting boards with nails across the windows and he's fucking loading guns and shit and he like goes in and like the Lieutenant Phillips introduces him as a marine biologist.
Oh,
It's like, oh, this is a Stallone movie from '85. I totally get it. I'm like, I'm so fucking on board with this right now. I know, I get it. Okay, cool.
and through the whole movie, and it just kept cracking me up. Chris kept leaning over, going, those are the scientists. Like every time you'd have this big shootout gun scene, Rambo bullshit, and those guys are the scientists, and it was just so fucking funny.
Oh my
I
God. Like he's a kick-ass marine biologist. Like, oh my God, that's fucking amazing. Or not marine. I'm sorry, that's the ocean. Microbiologist. I don't know, whatever,
whatever.
whatever. It's not a fish outbreak, it's werewolves. Sorry. But oh my God.
Yeah, it's fucking delightful. I mean, I don't know why silver isn't a thing and they can just kill the werewolves with anything, but I didn't care. It
There's
didn't bother me.
there's so many, so some people are just gonna like stick to, and it's fine. There's so many ridiculous, just like I kept saying like what so the movie last year the thing in the past when it happened the first time his brother was a first responder and was killed. So Frank is there taking care of his brother's widow and her little girl. He's making sure the house fortified. He wants to stay to protect them because it is totally. I've never seen any of the Purge movies, and I knew right away. I'm like, oh, it's the Purge too. I like with
It is
werewolves. Like
with werewolves.
I pictured the pitch for this movie where somebody walked into like a fucking studio and was like, "Yeah, my pitch is the Purge 2 with werewolves." Sold. Like, how the fuck would you not buy that, right?
Right,
Um,
that's all I needed to know.
but
And I'm good. And they gave me exactly what they promised.
oh, they did. They
And
so
the
did.
werewolves are the faces look so good. I was expecting like bad CGI werewolves, and I got real werewolves with prosthetics, and
Yeah,
it's such a beautiful thing, and it makes me so fucking happy.
there's some CG in there for sure.
Some, but not a lot.
Not a lot, and like I feel like earlier in the movie there's some because there's like some blood and stuff where I was like, oh, that's like
Hmm.
really bad CG, but it doesn't matter. And so that's the thing with this movie is like all of the shortcomings because there's so much like so he fortifies the house and it's like you get these broadcasts or whatever where they're talking about it's tonight like all emergency services are suspended and this is going to happen
Hmm.
and stay in your homes and
Right, don't go in the moonlight.
so he goes to like work at the CDC to like help get ready for this and leaves the widow and her daughter and so they're in this house. I'm like, just turn off the lights. But they have like every light on in the whole house. I'm like, just turn off the lights. Like, I don't understand. Why do you have every lamp next to a window on?
The power went out, and they light all these lanterns all over the house so you can see well, but the werewolves can see you too.
Well, yeah, it's like
But
clear that
whatever.
there's somebody in there, right? So there's like so many things where or like the neighbor Cody, right? There's like the scene where he's got like his fucking mask on and whatnot, and
Hmm.
he starts shooting out his window, like he's got the gun between the blinds. I'm like, it's there. He's got blinds over. There's no window. Like really? Like I don't understand what you're doing here, bro. Like I, so there were so many things about it, and but you know what? It doesn't matter. In a lesser movie, I would have been like, I can't get past this. This movie was so fucking fun. Go see this movie in the fucking theater because it won't be the same at home. It just won't. It just will
It
not
won't.
be. I'm not saying it won't be good, but it will not sweep you off its feet or sweep you off
Hmm.
your feet. No way.
Yeah, I'm so just amazed and delighted that this movie is in theaters, and not just drive-in theaters, but I mean, I saw it at a big box ANC. There weren't a lot of people there. I mean, me and my friend and like maybe five other people.
That was
but
about probably what there was for us. It was four or five other people.
but it's a really, really, really good time. It's the best time I've had in a theater in a while, but I am their target audience. I know that.
Let me ask you. So my favorite werewolf movie is Dog Soldiers, bar none. And This is not as, in my opinion, is not as good as Dog Soldiers, but it's definitely
No,
like it just it knows whatever shortcomings that it has, and it's like we're embracing it, but also like we're just going to fucking put our heads down and plow through this hour and 34 minutes, and you're coming with us. So that really the momentum carries it and makes up for other things, but it made me think. So is the reason why there's like not very many good werewolf movies because it I don't is it like better as an action? There's something about that archetypal monster that works better as an action movie?
no, because I mean, I love Dog Soldiers. Nothing against that. My favorite werewolf movie is The Howling,
And I love
the
The Howling.
original.
I love The
That
Howling.
it's my most favorite, most beloved werewolf movie. Um, and a close runner-up are the two Ginger Snaps movies, and they're not
Yeah,
action movies either.
good point. Same. I
So I
love
mean,
those as well.
it works great as an action movie, especially in the way they were using it, where it was a virus, so you had a zillion, it was, like moon virus, whatever, exposure. So you had a zillion of these things coming at you.
Right.
So it works great as an action movie because you've got so many of them. Um, Whereas the other movies we mentioned, I mean, The Howling, you've got a handful because you've got like a clan
Yeah,
of them, but Ginger Snaps and Ginger Snaps 2, you're only dealing with a a single creature.
it's true.
So it depends on how you're approaching it.
So maybe then what it is that this is the monster that is able to acclimate. Like it's the best suited to be turned into an action
Mm-hmm.
movie.
Well, I mean, it, they're shapeshifters. You can kind of, they have to be adaptable. Why not? This worked great as an action movie because you've got so many of them. They've got you in an enclosed space. So they just cranked it up to 37.
Yeah, it's a definite 37
And
on the Richter
it
scale.
and it's shot like an action movie. The camera is always it's always moving in a dynamic way.
Yes.
And even the way they use light in the movie is constantly like pulling you through very quickly.
Yes.
So it hits the ground running and it has a fast pace and it works for what they're doing. And it had a couple scenes, like there's a scene that's definitely an homage to The Howling, where you get this freeze frame. I think you see it on one of the screens where it's like
Oh,
4 or 5 werewolves and it's all lit blue and
yes.
everything, like totally like they have to be paying homage to The Howling.
Yeah,
They
I
have
think
to.
you're correct.
Or I love the scene where there's a neon sign and some of the lights are out, so it says "rad," and then a
Mhm.
werewolf drops in and all these sparks fly. I really love that. It just, yeah, I have. It definitely has certain shortcomings, but they didn't take away from it at all. Like I have
Not at all.
nothing.
I was literally like, I don't care.
I don't care. I had a moment where I went, wait, why is silver not a thing? Why are we just killing them with anything? Whatever. It's fun. I don't care.
There's like a sequence at the end where a wolf, it's like, is trying to get into the house, right? It's a very like it's the last, and it's got to come through a brick wall that it breaks down. But I'm like, but we've already established that like all the other wolves got in. So like, why not? Like, why are you doing this? I don't understand. I don't understand. Like you just walk 5 feet and it's like a giant hole in the house. So come on.
Right. But whatever. It's fine.
But of course, that doesn't look nearly as cool as a werewolf punching through a fucking brick wall. So by all means, like please, it would have been wrong to go the easier route, you know. So this is written by Matthew Kennedy, who I'm unfamiliar with, directed by Stephen C. Miller. Now, it's funny. I'm the person on this podcast that knows the least of his movies. And I'll tell you, I don't know if you looked this up.
I didn't get a chance.
He did a movie that I know both you and Anthony like, and that is the 2012 Silent Night with Malcolm McDowell.
Ooh, yeah, that's fun.
He also did Aggression Scale, which Anthony has recommended to me multiple times, and he did a
I
movie.
don't know that one.
He did a movie. I tried. I had like some convoluted thing with it in right after I moved to LA in 2006, where like I tried to get it through Netflix when it was mail order, and like I don't remember the specifics, but something happened, and it was like I they sent me the wrong disc or something. I could never get the disc, and I don't remember. I had read or seen something about this movie, Automaton Transfusion. He did that.
I don't think I know that one either. But I like Silent Night.
He's been kicking around for a while. He's done a bunch of other movies, Extraction that I've heard of but don't know. Submerged, Marauders, Arsenal, First Kill, Escape Plan 2, Line of Duty, Margot. But man, this is oh man. And then with the effects, the makeup department is so one of the names is Peter Murphy, and that's not Bauhaus Peter Murphy, but he this year worked on Alien Romulus, Smile, and Smile 2. Um, did just a bunch of people, Ricky Diodone, Richard Mayberry, who goes way back. He passed away in 2022. Um, so I'm not entirely sure how he's involved in this. I'm assuming they probably were using some of his molds, like pre-existing stuff, but he worked on like Starship Troopers, Lord of the Rings, just Walking Dead, like a lot of
Okay.
stuff. But yeah, I mean, I people, please go see this in a movie theater. This is a banger. Like when people are like, "Oh, it's a fucking bang!" Like this is a motherfucking banger.
It is. I just know it. Don't go in expecting like a serious werewolf movie.
No.
It's not Dog Soldiers, but it's a good time.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a Stallone movie from '85. Like everybody's macho to the degree that if you focus on it, you're going to be like, okay, can we tone it down? But no, don't tone it down because literally the movie has its head down and it's sprinting and you're caught in a cable and it's dragging you along behind it. So the more
Right.
macho, the better.
Yeah, it just keeps, oh, you thought that was cool? Let's take it up a notch.
There were so many moments of that where I'm like, oh my God, like we're already outdoing the last scene and I haven't even caught my
Right.
breath. Like, are you fucking kidding? I had to piss at one point. I was like, fuck, and I think I chose the exact right moment. It was like they go into a drugstore, he puts like the serum in a
Okay.
cooler.
Hmm.
So I like luckily, and the weird thing was like these movies are always in the far theater in
Yep.
my
They
this
always
was
are. We were too.
this was not.
Oh, okay.
It was literally the first theater. I was like, holy shit, that's crazy. So I was able to run to the restroom, which was right across the way, come back, and that's what happens when you bring cans of beer to the movie with your in your coat. But man,
Yeah,
goddamn.
I was all in. I mean, I was completely immersed. I never had to get up to pee or anything. I was so immersed I gasped out loud once when I realized that the werewolf was eating a cat.
I don't remember a werewolf eating a cat, but that's okay. I'll catch that when I go see it on like Monday.
There was definitely a werewolf eating a white cat,
Oh,
and I was sad. But maybe it's when you got up to pee.
I'm so fucking happy. I feel like this delivered. You are correct. We do not get many good werewolf movies. And
And this one was just it. It was fun. It knew what it was, and it just embraced it.
yeah, it embraced it and it excelled, man. It just
Hmm.
fucking excelled.
Like I said, as soon as they started talking about putting on moon screen, I'm like, okay, this is for me.
He's a kick-ass microbiologist. That's werewolves. People, go see this fucking movie. Go see it, please. And if you see it, come back and say thank you because it fucking rocked. And if you didn't like it, then
Then
I'm
I guess it
sorry.
wasn't for you.
And I
It's
guess it wasn't for you, but man, I don't
it
know,
was for
man.
us.
It was fun as fuck. I had a good time. So,
I had a really good time. I needed that.
on behalf of werewolves all over the world, I'm Sean.
And I'm Missy.
Hapless teenagers beset by demons in the woods. A strange new drug that turns art into murder. A can't beat a deal on a new house with a horrifying past. A video game that might usher in the apocalypse. From the demented mind of Sean C. Baker, author of a collection of desires, Shadow Play, and Murder Virus, comes Volume 4, collecting Baker's no sleep work along with several never-before published short stories. This 99-cent volume also includes the opening chapter of the author's forthcoming teenage giallo novel, Black Gloves and Broken Hearts, due out later this year.